Methods for a little synthetic killing. It's all harmless fun.
In what is an obvious cash grab / tie-in for an upcoming sequel to the box office hit Guardians of the Galaxy, Telltale Games has decided to take a stab at Marvel's interstellar characters. While a great idea for an overall story is presented, the overall pacing of the story is enough to get bored with halfway through. Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy takes a great set of characters and decides to go overboard with the family is important messaging. This iteration of Guardians takes most of its cues from the original comic, especially with Groot and Gamora. In fact, the storyline is separate from the film, and the only element it has in common with the cinematic universe is the great soundtrack that consists of the Buzzcocks and Hall & Oates, just to name a couple. What some Marvel fans may find a little disconcerting is the beginning of the story, where a major foe comes into play immediately, only to be taken down and set aside. Guardians of the Galaxy is up to the usual Telltale fare, with its use of QuickTime events, as well as pointing and clicking a button to discover items or to talk to other characters. However, a couple of new elements of gameplay have been added due to the components that Star-Lord has on his person, namely the ability to use the propulsion rockets on his boots. There are a couple of instances where you'll be able to search for items, but instead of a limited area, you'll be able to be propelled upwards to other floors in a building using the D-pad. This is a nice feature to what may have been the usual Telltale control scheme. You can also talk to other characters while you're searching for clues using Star-Lord's communication piece. This doesn't do much to the story overall, but it gives the player more dialogue to listen to. The action in Guardians could have been a bit better. Most of the action sequences seem to be Star-Lord using its pistols more than anything. When it calls for it, you'll be using the trigger buttons to fire the pistols. It's a neat way to get away from just hitting a button, but it's overused to the point where you won't even remember any of the QuickTime events that happened before it. There was just nothing memorable about any of the fight sequences in this first episode, but surely they'll up the ante in the future. The problem with the first episode of Guardians of the Galaxy isn't the characters, the setting, or even the beginning of what appears to be an interesting plot. The issue is that the first part is long just for the sake of filling in time. 15 minutes of this first episode could have easily been taken out in the middle. There was simply not enough going on that had any consequence in the overall plot points in the episode, and was primarily there to drive in a point they went back to later anyways. Episode 1 of Guardians of the Galaxy was a bit disappointing. If the pacing wasn't enough to bore you, then redundant QuickTime events and boring action movements may be enough. The episode's saving grace was the introduction to a potentially great villain in Hala the Accuser, and an actual story arc for her that most Marvel films fail to focus on when it comes to their antagonist. There is enough to keep you coming back, but just barely. Hopefully the second episode will hit the ground running now that there is nothing holding it back. I give Telltale Games Guardians of the Galaxy Episode 1 a 2.5 out of 5. Please subscribe to the Nerd Theory channel. It's subscribers like you that keep us going and allows us to get games to review later on. Please like the video, please subscribe. I'm Brian with Nerd Theory, and I'm out.